Alhai. Taraz, the administrative center of the Jambul region of Kazakhstan. It is located in the south of the country, about border with Kyrgyzstan, on the Taraz River. Population of the city -357,795 people. For the beginning of 2021. There are an international airport, the railway station, bus stations, shopping centers, entertainment complexes, a set of squares and parks. In the 6th-5th centuries B.C. in steppes the Taraz River had breeding unions of Jews and Usuni which founded the ancient settlement Taraz. Today traces of ancient urban development found on the place of the former central city market. So called a green market, which had to be transferred in connection with the beginning of archaeological excavations.
In the 1st century the split and weakening of the state of Hans, one of Sun Silaigasi Wansiak who refused to submit to suddenly amplified China, went to Central Asia to the vassals where founded the capital in the Talas Valley in Taraz.
The first written mention of the city in the Greek sources belongs to 400, under the name Tolosa. It was one of points of a northern branch of the Great Silk Way which passed from Almalik, the district of the modern city of Khalsa in China, in the direction of the city of Yasa, the modern city of Turkestan, and further downstream Cheese. A Chinese pilgrim, the Buddhist monk Xuanzang, passing through Taraz in 485 reported that he arrived in the city that is an elk, whether having 8 or 9. Merchants from the different countries live in this city alternately. In 751 near the city the well-known Talas fight took place.
Fight on the Talas River at ancient Taraz and a victory of the integrated Kurluchki and Arab forces over troops of the Chinese Empire of Tan left an indelible mark in the general history of Central Asia and the Middle East, having stopped the Chinese expansion.
After it the region began to get Islamic coloring. From the 8th century to 893 the ancient city was a part of the Kurluchki Khaganate. Since 833 the region was under the rule of a Turkic imperial dynasty. Karakanadav won a victory over Samaniami in the region. At Karakaniok, in the 11th, 12th centuries, ancient Taraz was the capital of their kingdom and reached the greatest blossoming. There are no written data on conquest of Taraz by Mongols, but, apparently, in 1220 the city showed to Mongols the considerable resistance why it was razed by them to the ground. What the big fire remains found at excavation of an ancient part of the city testify to. The city was renamed by Mongols in Yana, New.
As at his further mention both the European and Arab sources write.
City of Yana which was called before gained by Taraz. In the 13th, 15th centuries the city was a part of the Chagatai Ulas Mongolian Empire. During the period from 1465 to 1718, one of the most important cities of the Kazakh Khanate. There was among the destroyed cities during 1723. 1727 a shaft time of wars with Zunhars. In 1723 the Talas Valley, as well as a big part of the southern areas of present Kazakhstan, was won by Zunhars who owned it almost till 1756. In the 18th-19th centuries I was a part of the Kokand Khanate. In 1856 the city was renamed into Olayat, the Saint Grandfather. He received this name in honor of Karahan, the founder of a dynasty Karakhanadav. In the downtown, the area of Dynamo Stadium, there is Karahan's mausoleum. In 1864, during colonization of Central Asia by the Russian Empire, the small group under command of the Colonel Cherniev M.Shi took Olayat's fortress. Quite complete description of the city at the beginning of the 20th century is given in work, Russia. Complete geographical description of our fatherland. It is noted that in Olayat there was a big market, a fair and a number of transport offices. The city consisted of the Russian and Asian parts. In it there were 3 churches, 21 mosques, post and cable office, city school, hospital, military hospital, drugstore, veterinary drugstore, 17 factories and the plants, 1791 houses, inhabitants.
In 1917 through the city the Semirechensky Railroad from Orisi to Tru is paved that accelerated development of the city and the region in general.
In Soviet period the road became already a part of Turkcip. 1930. In the 1920th years in the city the famous writer Dmitry Firminov stopped. There is a memorial plate on the house where he lived, on Tola Avenue of Bai.
In 1936-1938 the city was renamed in Mirzoyan in honor of the first secretary of the Central Committee of the
B.
of Kazakhstan Levin Mirzoyan, who was repressed and shot on February 26, 1939 subsequently.
In 1938 the city from Mirzoyan was renamed into Jambil, by name the Kazakh poet and the Akin Jambil Jabayev.
On August 14, 1959 the industrial settlements of Jambil and Sukrosavatk, before being under his administrative supervision, were attached to the city of Jambil.
In 1968 the Jambilsky Regional Philharmonic Hall was formed.
On May 4, 1993 by the resolution of Presidium of the Supreme Council of Kazakhstan of the name of the Jambilsky region in Russian it was changed to the Jambil region and Jambil on Jambil.
On January 8, 1997 the decree of the President of Kazakhstan, considering petitions of local executive bodies and a wish of the public of the Jambil region, on the basis of the conclusion of the State Onomastichesky Commission at the Government of the Republic of Kazakhstan, the city of Jambil is renamed into the city of Taraz.
On September 26, 2001 Taraz celebrated a big holiday.
To the city it was executed 2000 that UNESCO was officially recognized. On February 23, 2010, according to the new master plan of the city, the territory which is under supervision of City Akamat was expanded from 12833 hectares to hectares, at the same time to City Akamat a part of lands of Bazaksky and Jambil districts of the Jambil region together with 6 rural settlements. Kamshigal, Koltagan, Kaisalabad, Barracks, Koldala and Ukos, which are there, and also 50 country massifs. The earth of country farms and other objects were placed under authority.
According to the director of Institute of Archaeology of A.H. Margulin academician Karl Bapakov, territories of the Central Market and also the Shakristan and Tarabai markets represent an important historical part of the city. For the purpose of carrying out archaeological excavations of the ancient settlement and creation of objects of tourism in 2012.
2014 these markets were relocated on the new markets in different parts of the city. Oil barrack. Area of Posh Factory. Taraz. Area of the airport. And Orthalake Market. The region of the main elevator.
And 2015 according to the proposal of the President of Kazakhstan Nursultan Nazarbayev, which was heard at the end of October 2014 in the city, the celebration of the 550th anniversary of formation of the Kazakh Khanate, which became an important event in the history of formation and development of the Kazakh statehood, which foundation was laid 550 years ago in the natural boundary region.
Taraz lies in the southern part of the republic, on the plain in the valley of the Taraz river. Occupies the space about 150 km. To the south from the city spurs of the western Tian Shan and to Mount Karatau west were stretched. Taraz is located in the depth of the Eurasian continent on a joint of hot deserts and snow mountains. Differs first of all in sharp continentality of climate, extreme dryness, small overcast and abundance of heat.
Position of the city in the continent, on a joint of northern and southern types of deserts. Existence by the neighborhood of snow mountains is determined by features of the circulating mode of which the prevalence of anticyclonic activity is characteristic.
Climate in the city sharp and continental, especially in recent years.
The summer can be hot and droughty, and winters cold and sometimes snow. Annual temperature differences can reach 60 C and more
within 1 year. At the same time, an absolute temperature difference more than 80 C. In the city, winds with rushes to 32 m/s are frequent. Weather is strongly changeable within a week in recent years.
At the same time, some consider that the climate of the area carries intermediate lines between continental subtropical climate of plains of Central Asia and sharp and continental climate of mid-latitudes of Kazakhstan.
During the winter period, continental air masses of mid-latitudes prevail here.
Circulating processes are defined by situation and activity of polar and Arctic fronts and a position of the Kazakhstan spur of an Asian anticyclone.
The winter season is characterized by the unstable, quite cold weather caused by notable temperature contrast of the air masses which are stirring up cyclonic activity. In the summer, especially in July, small baroque gradients promote weakening of circulating processes and cyclonic activity which almost stops, enough considerably being shown only in small fluctuations of air temperature and overcast. The warmest month, July, his average temperature is plus 25.4 C. The coldest month, January, with an average temperature 3.1 C. Absolute maximum of temperature plus 43.7 C. It is registered on July 30, 1983. Absolute minimum of temperature 40.0 C.
It is registered on February 26, 1951.
Annual maximum of rainfall minus 611. In 1969. An annual minimum minus 129. In 1944. Average annual air temperature minus 11.1 C. Relative air humidity minus 63%. Because in the city there were 3 large enterprises of the phosphoric industry, including the new Jambil phosphoric plant and the Kimpram plant. The city was strongly, due to the economic crisis of the middle end of the 1990th years, activity of the plants was almost completely suspended. Owing to resumption of work of the plants, the ecological situation worsened again. In Taraz, 15 residential districts and a lot of inhabited massifs. Active construction of new residential districts is at the moment conducted. Almost all residential districts on this have numbers and names. Part of them have only numbers or only names. 1 Akulek, 2 Karata, 3 Jela, 4 Sultanat, 5 Karasu, 6 Talas, 7 Samal, 8 Elitau, 9 Minbalak, 10 The Expert, 11 Sinsaya, 12 Astana, 13 Baytarik, 14 and 15. At the moment have no names. Massifs: Airport, Mariskan, Burl, Gidro Complex, Perez, Distant Karasu, the Road Builder, Sulpaktob, the Green Carpet, Kasposiolek, Karasay, Karasu. Not to confuse with the residential district of the same name.
Brickworks, Koktam, Komshibul, Kaizilabad, the sugar plant, solar, Tektermas, the television center, Tortkal, Turksib, Hamukat, Shuldala.
In the city, 3 avenues: Jambil, Abay, Tola of Bai.
The part of Tola Avenue of Bai in a historical part of the city in 2019 was taken away under the pedestrian street with the museum, Ancient Taraz.
Received the national name, Arbat. According to a census of the Russian Empire in 1897, in all Iota was 11722 inhabitants. 6940 men and 4782 women. Distribution of the population on the native language in 1897. Uzbeks minus 72.1%, members of the party Great Russia minus 11.6%, the Kyrgyz Kaysaki minus 5%, Sata minus 3.2%, Tajiks minus 3.2%, Tatars minus 2.2%.
276,169 people lived in the Olayutinsky County in general in 1897. Distribution of the population on the native language was following.
Kazakhs minus 90.8%, Russian minus 3.8%, Uzbeks minus 3%, Turkic adverbs without distribution of 0.8%, Sata minus 0.5%, Germans minus 0.25%, Tatars minus 0.22%, Chinese minus 0.16%, Tajiks minus 0.13%, Lesbians minus 0.1%. Taraz is the largest city of the Jambil region and one of the largest in the south of the country. The population minus 362,965 man.
Development of the industry and geographical location predetermined the available transport and communication infrastructure network of the railroads, with the large transport hub in the city of Chu connecting the south and the southeast of Kazakhstan with the central and northeast part of the republic and neighboring states.
An important role with development of economy is played by the Jambil Regional Directorate of Telecommunications of Jest Kozak Telecom, which provides services of local, domestic long-distance and international telephone communication, mobile radio telephone communication, services in broadcast of television and sound programs. In the sphere of telecommunications, planned work on replacement of obsolete automatic telephone exchanges on more perfect digital stations, transfer of copper cable economy on fiber optical networks is continued. 10 systems of national satellite communication of Dhamma work.
Total length of highways on area is 4117 km, including 847 km of roads of Republican value.
This city bends around the highway of Republican Almaty, Tashkent, Taraz M value, connecting the Republic of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan.
In 2009 in the territory of the country including construction of the highway, Western Europe, the Western China, which was complete in 2013 was developed in the Jambal region.
Total length of the road will be 8445 km, of them 2787 km across the territory of Kazakhstan. On the Aktyabinsk, Kizilorda, Turkestan, Jambal and Almaty regions. Thickness of an asphalt concrete covering will be 80 cs, highway service life -25 years without overhaul, the maximum speed of the movement -120 km/h. The project provided road bridges through a number of the rivers, road and operational complexes, stopping platforms, autopavilions, Skota Progona, electronic boards. Capital repairs of Taraz-Mokhtata-Sherlajanic highway through which there is a traffic flow on the cities of Astana and Karaganda are at the moment conducted. Passengers of the city along 53 routes are transported by 13 transport organizations with the general park 653 buses. In 2018 haulers acquired 60, and in 2019 75 more new buses. In the city several bus stations from which long-distance buses go to other cities of Kazakhstan and area. Several taxi pools and branch Yandex function. A taxi and also services of car rental, works bicycle rental and the electro-scooters gaining popularity. Railway station Taraz. Railway station Jambal. And railway stations, Shaykorik, Koldala, Kumshagul, and Burl. The sphere of power is represented by the Jambal State District Power Plant of Bacharov T. 1. The Jambal Electrical Networks and Jest Kigok branch. Economy. In the city the plants of chemical and metallurgical industry function. New Jambal Phosphoric Plant, Plant of Double Superphosphate, Kimprom, Kasphosphat, Taraz Steelworks, Taraz Plant of Metalwork, Plant Spare Part, Car Repair, Koskombinate. In the city several business centers, hotels, printing houses, shopping centers and supermarkets. Esmol, Mart, Arzent, Magnum, Dams, Tasty Basket, Firkin, Teknod, Sulpak, Mekta, Keys, Eureka, and so forth. In 153 km from the city there is an Erektinsky gas condensate field. Newspapers. Znamya Truda, one of the newspapers, oldest in Kazakhstan in Russian, is published since 1919. Azul, one of the newspapers, oldest in Kazakhstan in Kazakh, is published since 1919. Magnolia, the weekly regional newspaper, is published since 1995. Jambal Taraz, the weekly regional newspaper, is published since 1996.
The New Region, the weekly regional promotional and informational newspaper, is published since 1999.
Magazines. Prospectabaya magazine. The Sir magazine. Sports and Economic Review. The first in the Jambal region information and analytical full-color magazine. Television. Jambal TV channel, the first regional TV channel of the Jambal region. TV channel, 77 TV. Taraz 24 TV channel. News agencies. EK Sport. Economy Sport. Jambal News. Keys News Agency, the first news agency in the Jambal region created in 2013. Sites. Local History Museum. Taraz Mausoleum, a monument of architecture 10th of a century, a part of a complex of the medieval ancient settlement. The architectural Taraz complex, a monument of the 14th century. The Mosque Abdikadira, the historical mosque, a monument of architecture of the Al-Aytansky era. Ban Kali Yunus, a monument of architecture of the end of the 19th century. Ancient settlement of ancient Taraz. Education. Higher educational institutions. The Jambal Petroleum Construction Institute, with branch in the city of Karata. The Jambal Institute of the Light and Food Industry and the Jambal Teacher Training College. In 1998 the Jambal Petroleum Construction, Jambal Institute of the Light and Food Industry and the Jambal University were united in the Taraz State University of M.H. Dulati. Also the private Taraz Innovative Humanities University. Tihu. Branches of the University of Hajj Ahmet of Yesavi, the Almaty Institute of Economy and Statistics works. In Taraz a large number of specialized secondary educational institutions, among them the Jambal Medical College. Founded in days of the Great Patriotic War. The Jambal Polytechnical College, the Jambal Humanitarian College of a name of a bay and many others. Citizens get primary and secondary education at more than 60 public and private high schools, from which 14 schools gymnasiums. In addition 4 specialized schools for exceptional children, and 1 intellectual school of the physical and mathematical direction of Nursultan Nazarbayev. The network of private schools grows. These are schools, Asia and Shu, Estas, are elite. At all schools gymnasiums profound studying of both public and humanitarian, and natural and mathematical disciplines and also foreign languages is carried out. Since 2016 elements of trilingual training are entered. The Center of Out-of-School Educational Work, the Center of Development of Technical Creativity of School Students, Art and Musical Schools function. There is a madrasa giving vocational Muslim education. Sport. In the city there is a football club Taraz. Besides earlier there were 2 more FE Lokomotiv and Dynamo. Its home arena is the Centralny Stadium with a capacity more than 12.5 thousand audience. Sports schools of the Olympic Reserve, boxing and fight from Soviet period are a smithy of Olympic champions to this day. Among them Serat Konakbayev, Zoksilikush Kemperov, Bolat Zumadalov, Bakhtiar Artayev, Ermakan Abramov, Akarik Tanatarov, and are most known. Other. Also Jambal region is known for the swimmers and decks of the national team of the Republic on water polo. In the city several pools, including the pool built in the Soviet years, Dolphin. In the new residential district, Bayterik the Beg, modern sports center of Taraz Arena is open. In the city 3 stadiums, Centralny, Dynamo, Lokomotiv. The but already won recognition judoist Aldous Smitov become the first Kazakhstan world champion among juniors was born in Taraz. Mayors Fedotave, P. January 1939 May 1940 Abdildin A. April 1940 May 1941 Sarave A. April 1941 May 1943 Thanikave M. April 1943 June 1946 Fedotave P. January 1947 May 1951 Prokhorov N. 1 June 1951 May 1955 Kondratyev S. 1 September 1955 April 1963 N.M. Beaver May 1963 May 1972 Karakov 5 G. June 1972 April 1975 Vanikov 5 G. April 1975 October 1983 Godunov Bayou E. October 1983 February 1987 Makarov S.N. May 1987 May 1990 Akhmatova 50 A. April 1991 August 1991 Chairman of the Executive Committee of the City Soviet of People's Deputies Bachenko P. 5 August 1939 January 1940 Vlekik 5 F. January 1940 September 1940 Sinitsyn 5 September 1940 September 1941 Bachenko P. 5 May 1942 May 1943 Varmashev K. May 1943 August 1946 Babintsev F. A. August 1946 May 1950 Galimin A. 1 May 1950 January 1952 Eskaldiev S.
April 1952 October 1952
Huseynov T. October 1952 May 1957
Komratov A.
May 1957 January 1965 Azabay Absematov Semit January 1965 December 1969 Torbakov T. May 1970 June 1983 Sharafatinov Shak A. June 1983 May 1987 Sulaimanov K. May 1987 October 1990 Tamurbakov T. October 1990 February 1992 Akins Tusupov Aldair Alyaskarovich February 1992 October 1995 Silkishide Bolat Apapaparali October 1995, January 1998. Sartbayev, C. Taralidich, January 1998, February 1999. Soronbayev, Bolat Ospanovich. February 1999, April 2005. Tortayev, Ilya Zalimovich. 2005-2009. Astayev, Ertugin Kakimbekovich. On December 8, 2009, October 2010. Orenbekov. Bekbalets Eric Bekovich. October 2010 on December 31, 2013. Kalendarev, Nursin Sabitovich. On December 31, 2013, on March 2, 2017. Dolit Rustam Risbayevich. Since March 2, 2017, on April 23, 2018. Abdramev Kalimzan Raylovich. Since April 23, 2018, on April 12, 2019. Tosayev Kirit Askarbekuli. On April 24, 2019, on November 22, 2019. Karabalayev 8 Kazadola Kulevich. On December 3, 2019, on March 19, 2021. Zhilkabayev Yerzan Zumatovich. Since March 19, 2021. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.